Chapter 8. The Second Pentecost. 5 years after the crown's light scattered, the world breathed easier but not yet free. The breath accord governed without borders. Former soldiers terraced mountainsides in Mindanao. Wall Street bankers taught compost chemistry in Detroit. Vatican librarians digitized suppressed texts in open-source breath archives. Yet shadows festered. In Prague's underground, Carol the occultist whispered over vials of JR's. Dried blood stolen from the tycoon's vault. In Manila's ruins, a rogue pharmacorp faction engineered gray fog, a synthetic smog to induce despair. And on Ramblin, the golden Nara tree shivered. The roots feel it, Apelug told Luis by its luminous trunk. The second wind comes, but so does the counterbreath. Luis placed his palm on the bark, warned post like a warning. Kinshasa, 3 millionth breath bearer. Ray stood in a cobalt mine turned community farm. A young woman, Mireille, pressed glowing hands to a blighted cassava crop. Withered leaves unfurled, lush green. The crowd cheered. Ray felt it a click in the world's spine. Mireille was the 3 millionth awakened. Instantly, Ray's shadow deepened, stretching across the field like a protective cloak. In Mumbai, Vincent's healing glow brightened to solar radiance. In the Amazon, Christopher's shining hand summoned a thunderhead. The 300 gasped in unison across continents. The golden Nara's light shot skyward, splitting into 3 million threads of gold, connecting every breath-bearer in a shimmering neural net. The second wind had begun. Prague's counterbreath. Carol struck. He mixed JR's blood with the ashes of burned Codex Davidicus pages and sprayed it over Prague's old town square. Sanguis Davidus oxidate. David's blood dies. A wave of anti-grace rippled outward. In Berlin, a breath chapel's communal meal spoiled to maggots. In Lagos, Ray's shadow-healed warlords relapsed into violence. In Manila, the gray fog rolled from pharmacorp labs, thick and despairing. People collapsed, not suffocating, but forgetting hope. Kindness, the taste of clean air. Luis felt the Nara's roots recoil underground, their poisoning the well of breath. He radioed the accord. Vincent's gambit in gray fog Manila. Vincent walked into the smog unprotected. It coated his lungs like tar. Memories surfaced. JR bleeding in the warehouse. The 70% choking in Ramblan's judgment. No, he whispered. He drew breath not to heal, but to remember aloud. JR's blood wasn't wasted. It watered the Nara. It feeds us. His voice, amplified by 3 million networked souls, boomed through the smog. Each word glowed gold, etching itself in the haze. Fog-affected families stirred. A child drew the golden Narayan condensation on a window. A grandmother hummed a Bahagan lullaby. The gray fog thinned where memory fought back. Ray's shadow wore Ray track Carol to a bone chapel beneath St. Vitus Cathedral. The occultist chanted before a blackened Nara sapling grafted with JR's blood. The crown's light dies tonight. Ray stepped from the shadows. Light needs shadow to be seen. He breathed out the collective trauma of 3 million not as darkness, but as acknowledged pain. The chapel walls wept blood-red tears. Carol's chant faltered. You can't. Guilt is my weapon. Ray advanced. Guilt chains. Shared pain liberates. He touched the black sapling. It absorbed Ray's breath and bloomed golden flowers. Carol screamed as the light hit him, not burning, but revealing his childhood abandonment, his hunger for power. He crumbled, sobbing. Make it stop. Ray knelt beside him. Breathe through it. The first wind did. The convergence at Scarborough Shoal. Luis, Apelec, and Christopher sailed to the pulsating golden reef. The counterbreath had reached it. Dead fish floated. Coral dinned. Christopher dove, not with tanks, with intent. He placed his hands on the reef, channeling the 3 million breath bearers. Vincent's healing warmth from Manila's fog lines. Ray's liberated pain from Prague's crypt. Sister Angeli's slum kitchens. Shingu For's songs. The reef flared. The golden light shot not skyward, but downward, through tectonic cracks, into the Earth's mantle. The planet itself shuddered a single, resonant note. The second Pentecost. Every human on earth heard it, a deep, warm hum vibrating in their bones. Then, in Paris, a CEO dropped his briefcase, suddenly remembering his fisherman grandfather, and opened his riverside mansion to refugees. In Gaza and Tel Aviv, teenagers on both sides simultaneously sketched the golden era in school notebooks. In Fukushima, radioactive soil sprouted glowing wheat. In Pharmacorp labs, gray fog canisters cracked, releasing butterflies. The 3 million breath bearers didn't act. They breathed out, and the world breathed with them. The network light became the air itself. JR's return and release. At the Mindoro Grove, the golden Nara tree split open, not in destruction, in birth. JR stepped out, not as flesh, but as woven light, a being of breath and golden leaves. Oling Maria wept. Mangben touched his luminous shoulder, solid, warm. Anak. JR smiled. The seed becomes the wind. He walked to the shore where he died. The 300 and Luis gathered. The crown isn't mine now, JR said, his voice the rustle of a billion leaves. It's yours. The second wind is humanity awakening its own divinity. He raised his hands. The crown of light dissolved into 3 million plus 1 particles of gold, settling onto every person who'd ever taken a selfless breath. No more messiahs, only Capua, only breath. His form scattered like dandelion seeds on a breeze. The unforced kingdom. Breath chapels became simply breath homes anywhere people shared food, healed wounds, or planted seeds. The breath accord disbanded. Its work was done. Breath needed no bureaucracy. Money persisted, but wealth meant how many did you help breathe easier today? The golden Nara network faded, not gone, but woven into Earth's bioelectrical field, humming softly during acts of courage or kindness. Luis and Appa sat under the now ordinary yet still radiant Nara tree. What now? Appa asked. Luis plucked a golden fruit, sweet, airy, tasting of hope. We breathe, we rest, we listen. Alcantar. 100 years later, a child knelt where JR's Nipa hut once stood, planting a Balatino rice seedling. The soil glinted faintly gold. Above, solar dirigibles shaped like shell-out hats patrolled not for enemies, but for forest fires or storm fronts. A holographic ray taught shadow dance therapy in the plaza. A descendant of Vincent's Mumbai clinic directed Manila's symphony of recycled rainwater. The child's seedling sprouted faster than nature allowed it, tender green shoot curling toward the sun. An old woman, Myrail's great-granddaughter, placed a weathered wooden skull painted gold beside it. For the first wind, she whispered. The child breathed onto the seedling. It grew another inch. Somewhere, deep in the earth's memory, a fisherman's son smiled. The second Pentecost wasn't an end. It was the first full breath of a world finally awake to its own sacredness.